Yeah, I put my dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more times.
There's 5 blokes outside my front door. Can you come and help
One
me?
hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Velasquez Fight Week. Hannah Rankin joins me. Hannah, thanks for giving me some of your time. Yeah, first off, how are we?
I'm doing very well, thanks. Very happy that it's fight week. You know, you work really hard, and yeah, this is the best time.
A lot to talk about. Obviously, your fight with Terri Harper, just 3 days away now. We normally have an open workout on a Wednesday, and I'm presuming because Lee's pulled out, they've kind of switched it up. No open workout. We've had 2 gloves are off for the 2 fights at the top of the bill. And you've just walked out, so I kind of want a little spill the beans, if you will.
Yeah, no, something a little bit different. You know, you always expect to do a public workout, but this is something a bit different for them. And
better than a public workout as well.
You know, always entertaining. You know, good to have a look and have a face off with Terri right before the fight. You know, and see how she's feeling. You know, and see her responses to a few questions and see what she believes about herself and not. You know, so it's a great way to judge someone's character and how they're feeling about the fight.
Yeah, really looking forward to sitting down and watching them later on Matchroom's YouTube channel. I saw the video they put up where they kind of went to both of your camps and put a little promo together, if you will. And from my perspective, I'm kind of taking it, or seeing it, I'm kind of getting the idea that you're thinking she's coming up to my weight. Yes, it's a Matchroom show, but these are my belts, and you're kind of feeling very protective about, I'm the A-side and you're the challenger, and it's me who is kind of the number one in this situation. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't say I'm being protective about it. It just is. You know, I am the A-side as the world champion. I'm the one sitting with the 2 belts, you know. I think Terri believes she's the A-side because it's a Matchroom show and, you know, Eddie's putting on the fight and she's a Matchroom fighter and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm the world champion. So, you know, whichever way you want to look at it, I'm the A-side in this situation. So, hey, you know, she feels better thinking she's the A-side, though.
I mean, you've been around the female game for ages. You were one of the early pioneers. I remember speaking to you about this actually in depth quite a while ago. And there's fights you can have at your weight. Obviously, Terri's jumping up, but because it's a domestic fight, it just kind of makes it that little bit more interesting, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I think everyone loves a good domestic fight. There's always a nice little build-up and competition. Of course, it's Scotland versus England in this situation, as always. So that adds extra needle as well. So people love to see a domestic fight because they know the fighters and it's kind of like almost like local to them, you know? So yeah, I think this is going to be a great fight and I think people are really excited about it.
And there has been a little bit of spice. I said this to Terri as well. I know kind of, especially in the media and the fans as well, I guess, we kind of like to look and perhaps overplay on things that are said and say that there's hatred and bad blood and that. I know you two deep down don't hate each other. Like, I think people know that, but you know what I mean? When people are kind of trying to look for it and the spice makes it more exciting as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think people are always trying to look for that little kind of thing, like, you'd be amazed at the stuff you can learn off people on Twitter. Like, people on Twitter have some amazing ideas about stuff and, oh yeah, so they turn this way, so that must mean this, and that's how they feel about this. And it's just like, whatever floats your boat, guys, you know? Like, it's quite entertaining to listen and see what people are writing because it's just like, man, I never even thought about some of that stuff. But yeah, there's definitely a bit of needle between our 2 camps for sure. And I think that's what's got people going. And everyone's like, oh, this means this and this means that. But, you know, it's kind of like, I suppose, EastEnders on Twitter.
In reality, it is just 2 fighters at the top of their game getting in and fighting for a world title.
Absolutely. That's basically what it is, you know. Those 2 world titles on the line, and that's what makes it exciting for us. That's all we care about. So, yeah, bring on fight night. I can't wait.
I know obviously Terri's calling herself Terri 2.0. She did kind of spring on the scene and then become world champion in a very short space of time. I remember it was kind of, her name was out there and then she won that belt against Eva Wallström. Kind of from you, from the outside, watching Terri from when she started to now, and maybe even relating it to the journey you had, can you see how kind of Terri's grown and developed a bit from almost like a kid in the sport to an adult in the sport now, if you will?
Yeah, I suppose that's one way of looking at it. I think she's probably matured as a person as well as a fighter.
Is it defeats that make you do that?
Well, I think that's what they say, you know, you learn from your losses. That's the general chat, isn't it? So, you know, she's obviously, hopefully learned from her losses, and it helps you grow as a fighter. So, yeah, I think, you could say she's matured. And all of us go through our career and gradually change things, improve, and learn from all the fights that we've had. So I think we'll both be taking experience from our previous fights.
Yeah. And when you look at that defeat, and it is something that people are going to bring up just because of the manner of the defeat as well, do you think that can be something that could play on her mind? Because, I mean, you've suffered defeat in the past, but when it's a defeat that's kind of in such a destructive manner, I suppose whether you say it or not, or whether she admits it or not, there might be that 1 or 2% in the back of your mind that is perhaps a bit more hesitant, maybe.
Absolutely. You can say that you're over it and you've not even thought about it once, and that this is a new version of you and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, when the pressure comes on, you will revisit that. And there's no two ways about it. So, I'm sure she'll be revisiting it on Saturday night.
And do you look at this as someone who's got a fighter coming up to your weight, as in, I'm going to go in there and show her what this weight is really about. I'm going to go in there, stick it on her, and in reality, I want to go in there and I want to knock her out.
Absolutely. That's basically it. Well put.
I answered my own question. Yep. And I know you are not going to look past her as well, but there is such a big fight on the other side, and one that was kind of talked about a little bit before, where there could be 3 of the 4 belts on the line with Natasha Jonas as well. Obviously tunnel vision for Saturday, but again, if you're to win here, there's just another big fight for the female division in the horizon.
Absolutely, and it's a fight that both of us want. Like Terri wants that fight too, because she's got unfinished business with Tasha, like she says. And for me, it's a unification fight at my weight, and for those titles that I really want. So, both of us aren't looking past Saturday. But as I said, Saturday is my arm that gets raised, and I move on to those fights.
Hannah, pleasure. Good luck on Saturday, and thanks for giving me your time.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I put my dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more
There's 5
times.
blokes outside my front door. Can you come and help me?
One hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.